How do you know?
You're live.
We got action. Hey, folks. Welcome. I'm Rob McNamara. We're coming at you unscripted, unfiltered, and uncensored. It's a beautiful day. It's a little chilly. Talking golf out here at Farmington Country Club. I've got my producer, Stephanie, and my director of instruction, Scotty A. Adland. There's his thumb, folks. There's Stephanie's thumb. And here I am. We hope you have a good time. It's been a while since I've been with you. It's actually, we had a week off, not of working, but we had a week off of being able to do this show. It's just too darn windy. Crazy weather we're having here, but it's pretty today. It's just chilly. I mean, what is today? The 12th of May, and it's just too darn cold, but we're firing at it. We've got a good plan today, Scott.
We're actually at a new location as well. You know, we're coming to you live from the warm-up range today. All the members have now got the option to come and do some practice for 30 minutes on our warm-up range. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you take advantage of a 30-minute session on the range?
Awesome. That's my game plan. So, now that we do have the range open, some of you that have not been paying attention, this is our warm-up range. It's pretty empty right now, but we've had a full slate of people hitting. Really, it's been packed. But a lot of people come out here and they don't know what to do when they go to the practice tee. You know, how to use this area. And so I'm going to talk to you about the 4 main ways that I think about using the practice range. Number 1 is that we warm up out here. You come out here before you play. Most of you have been playing through this coronavirus without any warm up at all. They've just been going to the first tee, maybe chip a ball or two, hit some putts and go. And actually some of you are playing better. It's interesting, you're playing better because you're not thinking about your golf swing, you're not getting too technical, and you're already like a Rolls Royce. You come in there warmed up. You're like a Cadillac. Unfortunately, like me, I'm a Volkswagen, and I'm getting larger through the Corona pounds. So I'm like a modern day VW bus right now. I'm just a little on the heavy side. Work with me, people. I mean, I promise when they open up the gym, I will be sweating bullets, and I'll be losing that weight, and I'll be back being sexy again. It's just not right now.
I've seen plenty of breakfast balls though. A lot of guys will tee off and they go, oh, breakfast ball, and they'll hit a second ball. So you know who you are out there.
Yeah, we let that go out here at Bushwood, here at Farmington. We let that go. So we think about warming up as one way to use the range. I think everybody kind of gets that if they understand before you go play. They have a little routine that you go through. We'll talk about my routine. I think that most people, when you come to the range, especially you folks that come after work, I would put in the classification of just ball beating. You just hit a lot of practice balls. Just love to hit balls. Kind of mindlessly hitting, and I get it. You've had a lot of stresses. There's plenty of stuff and uncertainty in the world right now to worry about. Believe me, plenty of things to worry about in life right now. So what a great way just to come out here and just bang some balls. Some of you have taken lessons, or you know your golf swing, and you're working on a drill. You're working on a couple of things that are really specific to your swing, right? We've talked about silly things to worry about, like we're not thinking about keeping our head down. We're not thinking about, keeping our left arm straight,
Fallacies.
Yeah, fallacies. You go back and watch the clip on fallacies if you want to get the good scoop on that. But there are things that are specific to your swing that are really important, and those would be in the drill category. And then the last but not least that I really think is crucial that people worry about is practice playing golf. Practice playing golf. And, if you came out here and you hit 20 balls and you hit the very first shot, just cold duffed it, and then you hit 19 in a row perfect, you think, man, I had a great practice session. And you would. But if you go on the golf course and you hit the first shot in every place you go and duff them, you're going to shoot a terrible score. You don't get to hit a mulligan, and how many times is your mully, your breakfast ball, perfect? It's so often. Well, we got to practice knowing how to do that. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's go back, Scott, and we'll just talk about warming up. It sounds silly, but there's a routine and a purpose to warming up. So the first purpose is just to get loose. And you'll see, whether you're looking, what's the guy? Miguel Jimenez.
Yep, the mechanic.
The mechanic, and
yep.
He goes through all of his, kicks and stretching and, twisting and gyrations.
Looks like he's in a Bruce Lee movie.
I mean, never did all that. I just always like to rotate. I like to rotate and stretch, and I like to stretch my hamstrings out.
So you're just trying to get some heat into the muscles, get your body moving, get you ready to play golf. Got it.
Yeah, you know, get my arms up over my head. Just get me generally loose, okay? So I like to do that. That's number one. Then, as far as my clubs, I have a routine that I'll go through roughly where I'll take a wedge or a sand wedge. I might take a 9-iron and hit a few full shots with those. Maybe a 7-iron, hit a couple of balls with those. A driver, I'll usually hit about 10 drivers. I think driver, hey, get warmed up, you know, be loose. Then I might go back and hit a couple of little sand wedge shots just to kind of finish up. So, you know, when I think of a little sand wedge, I might just make a couple like that, you know, just little pitch shots.
Same thing, just trying to warm up the body, right?
Yeah, just make some contact, make contact with a golf ball, get some rhythm. You know, and if you think about warming up, the sole purpose of warming up, I think, is just to establish some rhythm with your golf swing for the day. There's a tempo that you want to feel it the minute you get out of your car. You don't want to be in a hurry. You don't want to be coming out here trying to, you know, have all these stresses of your life.
Trying to find a game.
Down.
Yeah.
Calm down. You are in control of your thoughts. You're in control of your state of mind. You're in control of your being. Just be cool, right? So that's number one. Then you get loose. You want to get loose. You want to get, it's not just rhythm, but you want to be warmed up and heated up, right? And then you want to start getting some confidence and get your mind ready to play. And that's how I warm up. And so I do that, and that takes me about 20 minutes to have a nice, good warm-up session. So I'll do that before I go play around the golf. Now, if I'm playing in a tournament, back in the glory days when I used to compete, and it really, really mattered to me, I would take about 90 minutes to warm up. From the time that I got to the parking lot to the time I hit the tee shot was usually about 90 minutes. There's some interesting warm-up routines on the PGA Tour. Phil Mickelson throws a football to warm up.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not throwing anything because there's nothing worse for my shoulder than to throw a ball. I mean, it's just like, are you kidding me? It's like breaking into jail. So
I remember warming up one time at the Australian Open, and Stuart Appleby's caddy came into the lunchroom. I had a late tee time, so did Stuart, and he goes, "Stewie, you got 48 minutes till we're on the tee." And Stewie said, "All right," and he actually went and rode a bike for 15 minutes. So it's funny you mentioned Phil throwing a football to get loose. Stuart Appleby went and rode a bike just to get the blood flowing. So, you know, it's just understanding your best way to warm up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always start out in the beginning, just a lot of aerobic kind of twisting there, just to get my body moving.
Got it.
That's how I get started with that. Okay, so then we'll talk about the ball beating. We've covered the warm-up enough. How much would I give for a barber right now? Honestly, let's just stop for a second and take a thought on having a barber. What would you pay right now for a good barber cut? I'm at 50.
Well,
It used to be $12. I'm paying 5 times that. I'm going to give them 50 plus a $10 tip.
well, it's interesting that you mentioned this.
You actually got your hair cut.
Yeah, there's a funny story behind that. I would pay easily 100 right now. My wife went to my head last night with the clippers.
Let's see it.
And no, the hat's not coming off. It looks like I had a fight with a lawnmower. Like, it is. I love her to death. She's loving my life, but honey, don't quit your day job, seriously. Little shout out to Nicole there.
I haven't had anybody work on my hair.
It could cost him 100 to fix my hair.
I'm at about 10 weeks right now.
It'll probably cost him 100 to fix my hair.
Just shave the whole thing off. Anyway, back to ball beating. So you come out from a heavy day of work and you just want to hit some balls. I got ADD, folks. You got to just work with me on this, you know. You have a whole day of just letting it rip out here, and you end up hitting balls kind of mindlessly. How many times do you think that you hit balls and like 7, 8, 10 minutes passes and you think, where did the last 7 or 8, 10 minutes go? Mm-hmm. You're in habit mode. That's honestly, in a lot of ways, that very subconscious mind place to be. It's a very good place to be. It's actually really, really good for you to kind of get in that mode where you're not thinking. You don't always have to think about everything you're doing. Do you think about the way you cut your steak when you eat a meal? Do you think about how you use a fork? I mean, do you think about how you write your name? Do you think about how you hold a pen? Do you think about where you put your hands on the steering wheel to drive a car over here? My God, if you think about golf the way, if you think about car driving the way you think about golf, you wouldn't make it out of the parking lot sometimes. So free it up, and that's a really good place to be. And we have a question coming in. Our producer says we actually have someone submitting a question. Holy smoke. Who's got a question
So
for me?
Tamar actually wrote in and asked a question. What do you think about using a warm-up stick? Now, I'm assuming Tamar is talking about an alignment stick.
I'm thinking, Tamar, thank you for coming in the golf shop today. I hope that you got something. If not, maybe I didn't get the price low enough for you. But back to the warm-up stick. So if you're using like one of those orange whip things before you play a round of golf, I would say that's no bueno. I don't think you want to be swinging anything that's appreciably different in weight to help you get loose. So I'm not a fan of that. After a round of golf and for training and strength, I think all those things that are out there on the marketplace, those 3 different weighted sticks, I think the orange whip, I think there's some other things that, like you'll see me swing that fan, you know, when I have down in the performance center, it's like a resistance deal. Those are awesome because those are more about getting strength and speed into your golf swing. You don't want to be doing that before you go play golf. You're trying to get rhythm for that round, for that moment in time. I'm assuming you're playing for something that matters, right? I think golf should be played for something that matters because then you really find out what golf is all about. But
So that would maybe go in our drill category.
that's in the drill category.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. And post-round strengthening and exercise. So, you know, there's exercises for golf.
Right.
We can talk about that in another class, but that'll give me something else to talk about. Just to prolong my employment for as long as possible. So, great question, Tamar. Thanks for coming in the shop. Shout out to you. Hey, we want to give a shout out to Bob Yates. He made a hole-in-one the other day.
That's
Way to go,
right.
Bob. I told him I'd shout out to him. And I want to shout out to my man Johnny Epps for watching. Because I know he's watching right now. He usually watches live. So he is watching live.
Is that when he was talking about the mint tulips? Was that the
Yeah.
hole-in-one? That's classic.
Yeah, that's good.
Talk about backing yourself right there.
So here's the story on Bob Yates. Bob Yates makes a hole-in-one on number 2, literally about a week ago. He packed his own celebration mix in his bag. He had cups set up for everybody to drink right there. Now that right there is planning, and that's being optimistic. That's a positive attitude if I ever saw one. Bring your own cocktail. There we go.
That's
There
pretty
we go.
solid.
All right, you're back for me to stop talking. My producer says get on with the program. Okay, so we've done ball beating and we've done warming up. What about drills? We just talked about some drills. For me, a drill can be as simple as a thought in your head. It doesn't have to be like you're doing some specific motion or, you know, you'll see people, you know, trying to do one little weird thing. No. A drill can be a cognitive thought in your head. It doesn't have to be some specific exercise that's a movement. That's a fallacy. That is a drill, but that's not the only drill. I think you'll do better if you have a drill that's actually in your head that gives you a feeling or a sensation, because it's all about feel at the end of the day. If you think you're going to play golf by numbers, like painting by numbers, no. Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel. He tore that baby up, feeling it. How did he do that anyway? Did he lay on his back? I got to think about that. He did lay on his back. I'm not an art major. I don't know these things. I wasn't an art major, but I'm just guessing, folks. Just guessing, all right? All right, so that's the way I think about feel. So my feel with my golf swing is I feel like we talked about this in week 1, and I haven't changed that sensation. My issue with my golf swing is I get jammed up. And when I get jammed up, then I have that extension. I want to feel like that I am throwing the club head away. That's my sensation. That's my drill. So when I get drill specific, I think about swinging the hell out of my right arm. That's my drill. Now, you want to see me hit one like that?
Yes, please.
How about that.
That's pretty good.
Huh?
So this goes back to one of our other shows where you're talking about a U swing versus a V. Is that what you're meaning, Pro? With the right arm. Look at that ball. Look at that ball position.
Is it back?
That's nice.
So,
I like it.
You know, that's a drill. I get my ball too far forward. I mean, I just know my golf swing. I want you to, when we get, eventually we're going to be able to give lessons again. Get a pro to help you know your golf swing. Don't go out there and say, I want to change my swing. No, know your swing. If you just know your golf swing, you'll be way better than trying to change your swing. Can your golf swing produce good shots? Yes or no? If it can, then let's figure out how to repeat that and what causes you to be screwed up to not do it more often. That's the whole deal. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to make this thing work. Just know your wheel, right? Know your recipe. We talked a lot about that chili recipe. I think that was in episode number 1.
Yep.
We gave a lot of good information early in this thing. We should have kind of held back.
I know. We peaked too early.
Oh God, don't even get me started on that in the game of life. But a lot of horses I bet on peak too soon. They start out in the lead and they fade. But anyway, so that's my drill for me. Okay. I don't want to be jammed up. I want to feel like I'm releasing. That's my thing for me. Just know your swing is what I want you to do. Get a pro to help you know your swing. Know thyself.
And you'll do that with every club? You'll work on that specific drill?
Every club.
Okay, you might hit a certain amount of balls in your 30-minute session with each club?
I try to hit, like I said, I want to do that through the whole set. The short irons, the medium irons, the long irons, a hybrid or a wood, and the driver.
Got it.
And I can just hit 5 or 6 shots, boom, I got it, I'm ready to go to the next club.
One
I'll go to the next club. I'll go to a driver.
Love it. And while you're hitting a few drivers, we'll talk a little bit about number 4, and that was almost like practicing as you would play, almost like play a round of golf on the range. That's a great way for people to still work on their game if they don't have time to go play 18 holes or 9 holes.
My pro, when I was about 15, he goes, you are playing golf when you should be practicing, and he goes, you're practicing when you should be playing. And what that means is that I would go out on the golf course, and too often I was thinking about the mechanics of my golf swing. I had not figured out how just to have a vibe or a sensation or a feeling, that all I needed was that one feeling that I'd practiced and that I'd also practiced under game time conditions. So what I would do, there's a couple ways to do it. One of the best ways is very hard to have the discipline to do it. Well, you see some people like try to play the golf course, like number 1 is a driver and a 9-iron, and number 2 is a 5-iron, and number 3 is a driver and a pitching wedge or whatever. I mean, everybody's got their own pattern, right? You can do that. I would just say never hit the same club twice in a row. Never hit it 2 times in a row. So hit a driver and then a 3-wood and then a wedge and then a driver and then a 7-iron and then a wedge and then a driver, and make sure about every third one is a driver, because that's kind of your pattern. You hit your driver and your wedge more than any 2 clubs in your bag.
That's true.
And that's what I try to do. And you should have a routine. If you don't, I would say get with a pro and talk about your routine. You probably have a routine. It may not be a good one.
You're not aware of it, but you have one.
You have a habit. You have a habit how you cut your steak. You have a habit how you drive a car. You have a habit. You just don't maybe aware of it. But get a good routine. Maybe improve your habit that will help you play better. That's what this is all about, playing better and shooting lower scores.
Or is your miss or your bad shot routine based?
So I'll just do it one time for you. So I tee up a driver, I get behind it. Can you still see me right there?
You good right there?
Right here. So I would get behind it, looking down my target line. And basically all I'm doing is my eyes are just seeing a straight line that happens to be parallel to that mat. And then I would come in here and I would address it with my right foot, set my left, and place my right again. And I'm a little bit off the mat here, but we'll go ahead anyway. Who needs any stinking balance to hit that ball when you swing smooth, right?
Solid.
Okay, so let's do that again. So that was hit good. Just the ball wasn't great. So I tee it up, I come back here, I look down my target line, and basically I'm going to just, my eyes are looking at that target line. There's a little piece of grass there, so I would right foot with the club, left foot for my ball position, right foot, line it up, let it go.
Oh, poetry in motion right there.
Okay?
Beauty.
Yeah,
I like that.
And I just want to kind of do it quick. And you want to practice doing it in your living room. Tonight, after dinner, there's nothing worth a darn on TV right now. Just practice your routine. You got a carpet or a rug? Perfect. Especially if you can get something squared off. Because you want to see the key thing to the whole deal is you got to know your target line. And you got to get back here. That's the beauty of playing off these mats. Occasionally, I hate hitting off the mats, but they're not terrible for this at all because they're squared off. And you need that alignment. So you come back here and you get squared off to your target line. Now all I have to do is come down here at the bottom, okay? I don't address it at an angle. I don't address it this way.
Square yourself up.
I come get squared up to my target line. Okay? So then I grip it and put the club down with my right foot, then my left foot, then my right foot. Now I'm good to go. Yeah, just let it go.
You need to go play some golf, pro.
I am hitting it better.
You are.
I think I may have the weight just right. Too skinny wasn't too good. Too heavy wasn't too good. I'm Goldilocks, baby. I'm just right.
It's funny. I like phase 4. You know, practice, sort of like playing. And what the number one comment I hear is, "Oh, well, I hit the ball great on the range, and I don't play well on the course." Well, it just sounds like you've solved the riddle a little bit there for them.
Well, they don't have transfer rate.
Right.
So you're just missing that component of your practice. Practice your transferability. You got to practice simulating actually playing, doing that little routine, doing some make-believe like this shot's really important. I got to, have this shot to beat Kenny Brown. I mean, nobody likes beating Kenny Brown out of money more than me because his money spends 3 for 1 at Kroger. I mean, it's a real bonus buck when you get a Kenny Brown dollar. But so you kind of want to get some little routine in your head where it means something. You're motivated. Your adrenaline. Your nervous system. You want your nervous system to be kind of aroused by this, because if you're not a little bit scared, then you really haven't practiced or played for enough that's important yet in your life.
You don't really care, realistically.
You want to have your give a darn meter up there. That's when you really find out if you can play golf. You got to have your give a darn meter.
And someone's give a darn meter might be like Tiger for $9 million, and it might be for $9 like you and me.
Maybe for 9 cents for me. In fact, I got a quarter here that I feel like I'm the richest guy in 8 states. I mean, I'm happy to have any action right now. But I haven't played but one hole. I played 2 holes of golf since March the 10th.
Wow.
I can't wait to get out and play some golf again.
Yeah,
So,
you and me both.
So anyway, I think you want to simulate playing golf some way, shape, or form so that you can be comfortable enough to be prepared to go to the golf course. Don't hit the same club 2 times in a row. I don't care how bad you hit the one before it. No mulligans, okay? Hit something different so you have to recalibrate.
It's not tennis. It's not fault 1. You only get 1 chance. So why don't you give them a little insight to what's coming on Friday? What are we going to cover on Friday? Got any thoughts? Any suggestions? Anyone got any questions on what they'd like to see us cover on Friday? Make sure you write those in too. More than happy to do that.
The one thing that I want to talk about on Friday, we touched on it a little bit here today. We're hopefully trying to get people in this state of mind that's different. It's a non-technical state of mind. If you take a golf lesson from me, I know if someone takes a golf lesson from you, we're not going to give you the encyclopedia of golf. We're going to give you a thing or two that will help your golf swing. We are going to begin a process for you to know your golf swing, to understand your golf swing. Because at the end of the day, understanding your golf swing is the key to the kingdom. When you know thyself, you'll be prepared. So we have been touching on mental things, right? Mental things. Now we're blessed that we have the finest sports psychologist in the world as a member of this club, Bob Rotella. There's nobody better. Bob Rotella is the man. If you've not read his books, I strongly encourage you to read his books. We have those available in America's Favorite Golf Shot, I might add, just saying. Signed copies, no less. So That is number one. Number two is just think about golf. I mean, when I was a kid, people used to talk to me about mental golf. Golf is mental. People say, Rob, golf's just mental. I grew up in Kentucky. Golf's just mental. It's like we're like sort of jabbing at me, like I had all this ability, but I was like a head case, so I wasn't better than I was. Like, what are you trying to say to me, folks? I want to go back and say, what are you trying to say to me? You think I got a mental issue? Yes, I know that, and I'm good with that now. But golf is mental. But you know what it really is about? And we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to just give you one little carrot for what we're going to talk about on Friday. Golf is about controlling you. Control the person in the mirror. Control your thoughts. When you start controlling your thoughts, then you'll have great mental golf. So that's what we're going to talk about on Friday, and we're going to hit some shots on Friday. But otherwise, I would say, folks, stay healthy and stay strong. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show, and I just want you to stay healthy, and you know what? Thanks for watching.